Well, October is finally here, which of course means Halloween is right around the corner. And if you didn't know, Halloween is probably my favorite time of the year, favorite holiday, or it'll be a close tie with Christmas time. But anyways, for the past 2 years, I've had fun this time of year, and I've done a seasonal project video. The first year, I did a fruit bowl that I carved some texture in, painted it orange, and I set the mood in the shop with a little light up pumpkin that I have. And then last year I did a little bit more of a fall themed project, and I turned a bowl that was the shape of a leaf. Absolutely love that one, and I'll link those videos if you'd like to check them out. But this year, things are a little spooky in the shop. Now for this project, I will be using a piece of scrap wood, more specifically this piece of spalted maple here, and it's roughly about 8-9 inches long, 2.5, 3 by 2.5 by 3. It's got this rough front on here. However, this project is very scalable, so if you want to make it smaller than this, you absolutely can. And if you really want to have some fun, you can see just how large you can go. And I thought that might be a fun video to try out next year. But anyways, I don't want to give too much away, so let's get this one on the lathe. So I've gone ahead and got the blank between centers. Now this project is fairly quick and easy, so I'm not even going to worry about squaring it up, because by the time I take it to the table saw or the bandsaw, I can just use my roughing gouge and take care of the job. So that's all we're going to do. But before we do that, I figured it's time to finally tell y'all what I'll be making today. And I guess if you've seen the thumbnail, then you probably already know, but I will be turning some ghosts, or really more specifically one. But I've had fun with this. These past few weeks have been experimenting and just coming up with different things. And like I said, this project is very scalable, but it also is very customizable. So today I'll be turning the more traditional cutesy kind of ghost, the kind that looks like it's got a cloth draped over it. But as I recommend in a lot of my projects, have fun and experiment and just see what you come up with. Now, the other tool that you will potentially need is a rotary tool, kind of like a Dremel, but I use a more of a die grinder style tool. It's a little bit more heavy duty, but you could probably use something like a carving disc, or if you want to do it by hand, you can do that as well. So I don't want to get too far ahead though, but let me get my mask, let me get my gouge, and let's get this thing roughed out. Now flipping it around like this it's not necessary. You can do the rest of the work on the lathe if you'd like. However, I have found having it open on this end, it makes carving the cloth texture into the ghost just a little bit easier. And then of course you can get in here in the bottom and clean it up, concave it a little bit to make sure it sits flat. And that's actually the next part of the process, is I will get the detail gouge down here, clean it up, concave it a little bit, and then we'll and then we'll do a little bit of sanding to just get rid of some tool marks. And then once we're done with that, we can move on to carving the texture. A little out of balance, but got the job done. All right, so now it is time to really add some life to this piece, which I guess that's kind of an oxymoron since we're talking about ghost here, and hopefully oxymoron is the correct term. But either way, it is finally time to carve some cloth texturing on this thing. Now, I'll be the first to tell you I am not a sculptural carver by any stretch of the imagination. Something I've always wanted to try to learn, but currently I'm not. So I'm going to do my best to explain the process and technique that I've used for this. Ultimately, it comes down to when you look at a curtain or a cloth or anything that's draped over something, at the bottom, it's never perfectly flat or even or anything like that. There's a lot of waves, there's a lot of shadows, there's a lot of varying heights, and that's what you want to be able to translate to this piece here. So when you go to draw, now I do draw the creases on here to sort of give me a roadmap, but if you go straight to carving, rules still apply. You want your creases to have varying heights, varying widths. You want them to be some shallows, some more deep, because when you do variety like that, it really adds a lot of depth and contrast to this, and it really does give it a whole different look. So that's the big thing that I recommend, is messing around with it. And also another rule is I try to vary the variety as well. So I try to keep, if I have one height, I try to make the crease be side of it on both sides, maybe halfway up it or way below it or above it, vary the heights of it, and the same with the depth of the crease as well. Now, this will all make sense when I actually start to show you how. So let me grab a pencil and let's do that instead. Now, when it comes to drawing these crease marks on here, this is merely just a kind of a guideline, a suggestion. Nothing's really set in stone with this. So what I'll do is I will carve what I have on here, and then if I need to make any adjustments, I will. These drawings, it's really just to kind of give me an overall idea of how the ghost is going to look. But like I said, nothing's set in stone. We're not carving or I guess cutting out dovetail joinery here, so you're allowed to be loose and creative with this thing. And then also when it comes to the eyes, I very much like the kind of Scooby-Doo-esque eyes. They're kind of goofy, a little sad and droopy looking, so that's the style that I'll be going with. And if I had $1 for every time I said this, have some fun with it. Draw the eyes that you want to have on here and just see what you like. Experiment and have fun. Lord mercy, I need to get a t-shirt made with have some fun. Oh, but anyways, I'm going to finish up these texturing drawings here, and then we can get the grinder ready and get these things carved out. All right, well that is pretty much it as far as what we do on the lathe. So all that's left now to do is to knock off this top portion here, and you can do that with a parting tool. And to be completely honest with you, I'm horrible with a parting tool. I don't like it. So I just find it a little bit easier to take it over to the bandsaw and just knock it off real fast. So I'm going to do that, and once we get that done, then we can go back and just refine the top here where we cut off, and then get some oil in this. So let me do that real quick. All right, well the top of the ghost has been sanded and cleaned up. And now this next step here is completely optional. However, I do think it adds some really nice character to our little ghost here. And that is just to simply paint the eyes black. Now I'll just be using some cheap acrylic black paint, cheap paintbrush, and I'll just go in the eyes, 1 or 2 coats, nothing too crazy. Let that dry, and then once it does that, then we can finally get some oil in this thing.